Ready? Ready. All right, after 3. One, 2, 3. All right, so this one. Boss to everybody. Third serve. Third serve.
Come to me. Thank you.
As is required by law. But on the flip side of it, whilst we perfect the processes, persons like Miss Rogers and her mother are living in circumstances that can only be described as subhuman. And really poor reflection on the society generally. However, today is a moment. And as I met you at the entrance and we greeted each other with hugs, you broke down in tears. Tears of joy, obviously, that finally your long struggles, the delays and the disappointments were now at an end. And you can have some comfort to live in with you, your mother, your grandchildren who I saw running around, that your circumstances will be that much better. It is not going to return your leg or return your mother to full health. But at least it will give you some comfort, and it possibly will contribute to a stabilization of your health. The people of Jamaica, I'm sure, all of us who are taxpayers would agree that you are a deserving beneficiary and that their tax dollars is being put to good use. You know, when the taxpayers pay their taxes, every taxpayer has in the back of their mind when they're paying their taxes, they want to know that their taxes are being put to good use. Now, some of it, some of the taxes go towards paying workers, paying the wage bill, building roads and highways. But a portion of the taxes goes towards what is called the social safety net. And the social safety net is part of the social contract that we have. That those of us who live in the country and have means and we pay taxes, we all need. And it shouldn't be that only those who have means live well and those who don't suffer. So there's a kind of social contract backed by the taxes that we pay, that we say that there is a minimum standard that every Jamaican should have. And programs like these are a justification, right, for the expenditure on social housing. And when we see cases like yours, it also goes to justify the expenditure. You are truly a deserving beneficiary. Right? And I'm very happy to be able to hand over to your But before we do it, there is one final thing that we're going to ask you to do, which is to sign the social contract.
The property initially designed was substandard, significantly substandard. So again, the team from the Ministry of Economic Growth and Operation.
MP, we'll now hear from Ms. Rogers.
I am so overwhelmed this morning. I'm very happy over this because the condition that we were living in wasn't a good condition. But I thank you, Mr. Donovan, and the Prime Minister also, for giving us this unit so appreciate it a lot. I'm overwhelmed. Thank you, Mr. Barry, that you are here with me right through. And thank you again, Mr. Donovan. Francis, call upon you and you're always there. And I am so pleased. I am so grateful. I am so overwhelmed. Tears of joy. Thank you so much.
Tell us a little bit about your story and your journey and your mom. We are into the scene.
Mommy get 2 strokes. The first one she gets in wasn't that easy for me. But thanks be to God, my church sisters and my fellow communities helped me through with her, providing for her and all that. But with my case of my sickness, I am a diabetic person.
Members of the community development groups, the various organizations, and in general to the many of you that have turned out here this afternoon to participate in the opening of this public sanitary facility. First of all, I want to dispense any myth or any mischief that is being made about my presence here this afternoon. Last week, someone who is a stranger in this town sent me a WhatsApp picture of a notice put out as it relates to the opening of the sanitary facility today. And the big headline was, look here, I'm going to open bathroom, all bathroom to them and go cut with Hold on, please. I find it disturbing because those who are promoting this nonsense ought to know better. What is the role and function of local government? Local government, and I want you to listen to me because it is important that when we are talking, we put the facts on the table and we don't get caught up in the atmosphere of what is to come. It is not here yet. But I'm not here in that capacity. I'm here in the capacity as a minister with responsibility for local government. You would say opening up public sanitary convenience is that important?
Yes.
In every country in the world, in every major capital and towns in the world, the city municipality provides these kinds of accommodation for the general public. It is a part of the mandate of local government to provide public sanitary facilities right across the various towns. So this is not something new. If you're going to the corporate area, there are a number of these facilities in downtown Kingston, in Parade, in Crossroads. It is all over. other town centers in Jamaica have public sanitary facilities where persons who go out on the road, who want to use these facilities, instead of going into the bushes, instead of being disrespectful to the females, we are providing a facility which is a part of the mandate of local government, and I make no apologies for coming here today to open this facility. And let me say this, it is disingenuous of them to raise this issue, because last year when I spoke in Parliament, the government of Dr. Andrew Holness last year provided over $200 million that was spent on upgrading, repairing public sanitary facilities across the country, especially in our markets. This is not the first one I'm doing. I opened such a facility last year in Ocherios, at the Ocherios market. I know what is sad about it. The KSMAC benefited from the funds that we provided. They opened 2 sanitary facilities, one in Papine, one in Crossroads, in the constituency of the leader of the opposition, and he was there participating in the opening of that public sanitary facility. So how come nobody never complained when he was doing it? I want the country to recognize that Jamaica is moving in a different direction when it comes on to certain programs. And it is the intention of the administration to spend another $350 million to upgrade, refurbish other such facilities across the country. We must have some civic pride in ourselves as a people. We should never be critical of anything that the general public, regardless of which party you support, because when nature called it, one was politics. And I heard the councillor and the MP spoke about the fact that when you go into people's business places, somebody might not have adequate facility. Some don't want you to use it. And what we should be doing is supporting what is taking place here today, instead of trying to throw cold water on it because of political reasons. The country must reach a stage of maturity. Quiet, please. Yesterday we celebrated 63 years of independence as a nation. This is not new to us as a country. But because we have lost our social identification, we have lost civic pride in many ways, and now we are restoring it by putting in public sanitary facility to meet the needs of people. We are being criticized. Well, let me tell you something. I am cutting this ribbon here today, and tomorrow I'm going to be in Portland cutting another ribbon, because it is our responsibility as a government. And I'm not here in a political capacity. I'm here as the Minister of Local Government. And whatever I do after I come off of this platform and change this shirt, that is my business. But I am here as the minister, not as deputy leader of the party. And I would urge those persons who are seeking support, do not discredit programs that benefit people. And you know, when I look at why local government is important, Frank spoke about the lack of water. That this town, one of the fastest growing rural urban centers in Jamaica, and the other one is in Santa Cruz. So you have two urban centers in Jamaica that is growing fast, Santa Cruz and here in Junction. I remember coming here as a little boy many years ago, decades ago. Junction wasn't like this. How can you develop the town of Junction without providing the basic facilities for persons coming into the town to use? And the role of local government, ladies and gentlemen, should not be taken lightly. It is because those who are trying to be critical of us now, when they had local government, they did absolutely nothing with it before. So what is happening now is not new. It's because that was never part of their genes to get it done. And I would urge persons not to politicize events that the people benefit from. Not to put politics in the mix. Because the parish of St. Elizabeth have seen significant investments from the government of Dr. Andrew Holness since 2016. We have built indigent houses in this parish. Over $60 million have been spent on providing indigent housing solutions. We have spent millions of dollars on water, building water shops, trucking water into the community. We have spent over $200 million in repairing roads. I wonder how many of you in this parish know that after Hurricane Beryl did extensive damage to road infrastructure, that the St. Elizabeth Municipal Corporation benefited from the National Disaster Fund. And when I speak about the National Disaster Fund, this is a fund that the government of Jamaica has, that in time of crisis, when a disaster comes, we can at least respond. 100 million from the National Disaster Fund was used to carry out extensive repairs to roads and infrastructure in St. Elizabeth. This is not a government that is talking and not performing. I was in Black River opening a road in honor of one of the outstanding sons of St. Elizabeth, Charles the Coveride, this facility that we are building. And when I said to the council and to the MP, look, I am not taking no talk from money. I want this facility to be done and done properly. Put in the infrastructure for the physically challenged person. And you know, when I hear the talk about the disabled, I want to ask them, those who are speaking about the disabled, I want to ask them to show me evidence of anything that I can see that they have done to improve the conditions of the physical disabled in our towns and our various communities. When I was mayor of Kingston, I was the one that introduced on-street parking for the disabled in Kingston. It has never happened before. Designated parking facility was done under our stewardship when I was mayor of Kingston. When I left the mayorship, that don't work again. The disabled will have nowhere to park because they have not practiced what started before and was successful. Our indigent houses that we are building are built in a way that persons who are physically challenged can access those facilities. And I am glad that the technical team have put in not just access, but have also provided bathroom and toilet that is specially designed to meet the needs of the physically disabled person. So this facility, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope the water tank's gone in just in case you need it. Right. So in case there is a problem, we have standby with water. And it is the responsibility of the municipal corporation to ensure that this facility is maintained. On my way coming here, I got a message on my phone that someone asked me to remember in my remarks to acknowledge the efforts of the men who work to get this project off the ground, the laborers, the ones that some of us might not see, but they are the ones that are responsible, and I want to thank them and to say to them that they deserve all the gratitude as it relates to this facility. The community organizations working with the SDC, they played a critical role. So it is not just a role that has been played by the political directorates alone, but it is also the community involvement that has made today what it is. And I want to thank you all and to say to you that in order to build communities, we need the buy-in of every single community member. This facility is not for persons who wear orange or green. It is for the people of Junction and other persons coming into the community who will require the services of a public sanitary facility. I know that persons, and I'm going to say this to the mayor and to the council and to the MP, this facility must operate free of cost for the next 5 months. So while I know there are going to be a little thing that is required for the maintenance, for the next 5 months the people will have the benefit of it. So after that time come, we will look at whatever the rates are. But it has been long in coming, and we don't want, look, it is one of the ugliest sights you can experience when you have a facility and you're against the wall and you can't stand up and stand your breath. So for the next 5 months, this facility will offer service to the people. I want to beg of you, and one of the concerns that have been raised is that there are a number of persons who live on our streets, and there are concerns that they at times might want to come in there to see. I have asked the town is growing. The town is growing, and there are needs here in Junction. And this, when we have identified the location, and Mayor, MP, Councillor, CEO, there is an urgency to get that done. Okay? So once that is ready, we will do what is necessary to get it done. I am here not to win anybody's support, because what I'm doing is that was what I was elected to do, and I'm expected to do what I'm doing. And what is sad about it is that we are doing the job, and when we are talking about it, people are saying that we mustn't talk. If I don't tell the world, how much I love my wife, you think the world will say me love my wife? I have to sing the praises of my wife. And I have to sing the praises of the government of Andrew Holness and the Ministry of Local Government in doing the job that we are elected to do. And when we don't do it, they criticize us, say we're not doing. And when we do, it's a problem. And if we don't do, it's a problem. When we will continue to do and do and do and do. So, in closing, you also have a personal responsibility in maintaining this facility. I hear somebody say you must treat it in the same way like you treat your home, bathrooms at home. I don't want to have to come back here and say, boy, you know, I am disappointed. And I'm sure that you here in Junction and the adjoining communities will not make me feel bad. No! Because if I feel bad, you ever feel bad too. Yes! And so, I want to thank all of you who have made this possible. I want to thank the team from the ministry, headed by the Chief Technical Officer, working closely with the MC, the councillor, and I want to tell you the Member of Parliament, because there are days when I see him in Parliament and I ask him, what is happening? Last time I came here, I wasn't pleased with what I saw. But if I know that when I walk in there today, I am going to be pleased. But let me give you one word of caution. We spent a significant amount of money on the bathroom and toilet facilities in Ochiris. And I was deeply disappointed that persons went in there and thief off the toilet seat, take off the pipe cap. I know the same thing now at my Junction. So I am going to open this officially and hand it over into the keep and care of the community of Junction. This is what good government is all about. And this is why I want to say to you, choose Jamaica.